Hi guys, this is Grandma Cheap Cheap and welcome back to my vintage kitchen here in southern Colorado. I am continuing on the series for Mother's Day treats, and today I have a wonderful, simple, easy, it's not a vintage recipe, but it's one that you should have in your back pocket at all times. It's a asparagus tart. I have seen them in the magazines, in the cooking magazines, on the internet, and I'm just going to give it a try today. It looks simple. It's simply easy. Okay, first we start out with a package of Pepperidge Farm puff pastry sheets. This can be found in your freezer section of your grocery store, or there is one at Whole Foods that's made out of all butter. Your butter, Dijon mustard, a pound of asparagus, and I have blanched my asparagus. I'll tell you what blanching is for you who are new to the kitchen. Gruyere cheese, and I think I might just go a little. I'll see if I have any sliced almonds to make this like a puff pastry almondine. Asparagus almondine. Okay, this puff pastry has to be worked so on a clean surface, and it is clean here. I'm gonna roll out my puff pastry. Now, you might ask why I don't have already melted butter, because I washed my butter keeper and haven't refilled it. That's why. Now I'm going to take my cookie sheet here, move this, and butter it all on the bottom and on the sides of this cookie sheet. And now I'm going to transfer my puff pastry gently on this cookie sheet. Okay. Now I want to utilize all of the puff pastry, so on the corners and on the ends I'm just going to roll it over. It will look very rustic. But that's the look I'm going for. I have my oven preset at 400 degrees. It's not my universal temperature of 350. It's 400 degrees, and I'm going to just make little holes in the bottom of the puff pastry and put it in the oven and let it bake for 10 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm going to put this in the oven, like I said, 400 for 10 minutes, and that will give me an opportunity to shred my Gruyere. See you in a minute. Okay, the puff pastry was in the oven for about 15 minutes, and that's the way it looks. Let me bring it over here. Okay. It's smelling so good. Now what I'm going to do now is little Gruyere. I don't want to waste any of that. I'm going to get my Dijon mustard and start spreading it on the bottom of this puff pastry. I love Dijon. I didn't for a while, but I think once I bought Grey Poupon, there is a difference between Dijon mustards for sure. So Walmart just didn't get it for me. I'm going to use the rest of it that's in this jar because I have a larger jar waiting. And with your pastry brush, or I just have, I don't know if I got this as a paint brush or in the kitchen department, but as long as you dedicate it for use of one thing, which is baking in the kitchen, you can definitely get a little bristle paint brush. Okay, fabby. Now, I ended up just shredding half of that block of Gruyere, and you use your own discretion however much you want on your tart. And I'm just sprinkling it over here. This is gonna be so good. Definitely my go-to fancy type of a, I guess it can be a side dish or an appetizer. Now I blanched my asparagus, and by that I simply put it in water and let it boil for, I don't know, less than 5 minutes. And I took it out. I didn't put any ice water, put it in an ice water bath. I just turned on the cold water on my sink and let it cool off that way. Now I'm putting these asparagus, some up, some down, just so they can so it can be sized to the puff pastry. Looks yummy. I love asparagus, and now is the time for you to try out this recipe because fresh asparagus is abundant in the supermarkets. Okay, I'm getting to the end here. I'm gonna fill in some gaps right there. And I have some asparagus left for me to just eat. Get one more, squeeze one more in there. Okay, great. See? It's perfectly lined up on my cookie sheet. Alright, let me clean up here. Now, I thought that I would give it a Grandma Cheap twist and just make this an almondine. I bet that is good. So in my pantry I try to keep nuts, and I do have some sliced almonds, and I have a tablespoon of butter. I'm gonna just melt this in the microwave. Open my packet of almonds. I'm gonna sliver my almonds, or just distribute my almonds over here. Ooh, my butter sounds like it's really going to town. And this is totally up to you. This is something I would do. If you wanted to stop at the just putting the asparagus on the tart, then you may. Miss Granny takes it to a whole nother level. Okay, great. Let's see, I'm not gonna salt it or pepper it. That must be the theme for the day. I'm just gonna put this back in the oven at, again, 400 for about 15 minutes, and then we should have our asparagus almondine tart.